Hi, this is going to be about autonomous development or how to take control of what happens to you, what dynamic you're in, what your reality is like, what people do and say to you, who do you meet, how do you affect people, how people affect you. It's going to be about this weird concept that I personally observed. I'm kind of lucky. I tend to get these messages intended for this one person. And in French, there's an expression, um, it says un adon, but if you split that in bird language or word game language, it means that one has a gift. And there's a lot of videos about oneness and chosen ones and awakened ones, people that are aware or that are self-controlled, leading or following, or these different types of people, levels of awareness that can be developed, and our reality can be changed. This whole video is about how to change your reality and what happens to you. Instead of having life happen to you, you're going to happen in life. How do you happen in life? How do you take control of your life? It's by verbalizing and expressing yourself and your desires, and by being positive, not to bring back the past in the present all the time, not tell too many stories, not because that makes you live in the past and it brings it back, so the same scenario will repeat itself in different ways. I don't know if you ever noticed, if you ever noticed some sort of Murphy's Law where the same thing always happens to you, and you just wonder why that always happens. This bad luck, or this subject, or this type of discussion always happens. Well, this is a bit hard to conceive when you don't feel energy. I would suggest you talking to yourself. You program yourself, you program your subconscious mind by speaking to yourself on your plexus chakra kind of thing, on the right here on the table. What you say on the table remains as a command in your mind. Once I was talking to my father, it was late, and then all of a sudden he started talking in this structured way where he would describe what he would be doing the next day, which was going to work. So he was going, now I'm going to go to bed, I'm going to do this and that, because I'm doing this, that tomorrow. Well, unconsciously, what he actually did is program his dynamic and behavior so it does what he says and has to do. So his reality won't be hard to manage because he's aware of it and he put it in there himself. The only thing is it's a pretty fast flyby, just kind of saying grosso modo what the day is going to look like. But it's by speaking to yourself, and it's kind of like wishing, but you don't really wish it. Wishes work if they're non-ego related. Everything is possible in this universe, everything. And if we'd be more spiritually and psychically connected, we could probably have floating islands. because of the power of the mind and what pyramids canalize and all that, and the cosmic energy everywhere, the chi, the prana, that most people have been cut off of is because of the wall, this thick layer of hardened dough or energy. Dough is what? Water and flour. We serve the water. John, Jesus, the Good Night, Claire, those straight, virtuous, reasonable people, equalitarians, and with true values. Um, what was I supposed to say about them? Well, they're gonna fall in control in the future because the power went to the virtuous people, right? The people that were true and just. I'm just, I got lots of power. Uh, I can write fuck the fuck button. So you gotta get in touch with your energy. You've got to try to focus inside your head, inside your back. You might have to wiggle a bit, and you're gonna have to try to dig into your mind because there's this kind of dough paste. The Homer Simpson's dough. Everything's dough. You need dough to make bread. You need dough to make pizza. You need dough. You need dough to make dough. Everything is dough, and it's dough flowing inside of you too. It's like this caramel dough stuff that stretches and hardens and takes bad curves that you have to stretch straighten out with love. Most people don't feel their sexual chakra and don't feel love. I feel love physically when I touch this. Do you see the atmosphere? I have to, first of all, I have to say to myself, I have to connect with my people that are listening to me, not connect with them. So if I let myself go, my head is kind of gonna position myself and ding, I connect with you. If you are connectable, some people have a protection that keeps you from connecting with them. So once you connect, you see the atmosphere change. That gives you a mental link with other people. It's a psychic connection. And when you feel the energy, you have to kind of move. I don't know how you start feeling that. I just started feeling this wiggly stuff inside my head that would twist around with wires in it and a rail you could ride. And you end up you're a silver surfer. You're surfing this silver stuff that gives silver, beer, or energy, cool air like air conditioning that comes in here in all the chakras when they're open. It's this prana and chi energy. It's everywhere. You can see it flow when you press on the button. You can see the energy flow almost. And I should program you to say you have the button here. So if you let your head go, you're gonna press the button. So when you talk, you press the button. That's the gun. That's what you print into people's mind, and they'll love when you say it on this. Speak here of the truth. That's how you program yourself, by connecting them. So what you say to yourself at night at your place is you say from now on, and you say it to yourself. Make sure you're talking to yourself. Some narcissistic occupation and mind possession will condition you to speak to somebody else everything that is good and to give yourself everything that is bad, especially if you're a good knight or a good soul or a fundamentally good person. You most likely have one of those problems. Narcissistic occupation, because we're kind of apartment buildings for those people. They live inside of us, in YouTubes. Because you is evil, I love you, the eye of the pyramid would love you, law would love crime, they would balance each other out. Crime and the underground would intimidate and keep this order, this fascist order, by intimidating the good knight. Now, Harley Quinn's bad is written good night. That's Jesus and John and Simon and Frank, the apostles. They're all good knights. So they are kept separated, and there's this whole big swindle and sabotage thing that's all in the mind that you can't see and that most people don't see. That's what you have to change your reality. And if you're a good knight or a good Samaritan, well, your best friends are probably narcissistic hypocrites that play with your mind, especially if you have lot of bad luck or people dying around you, you getting sick for no reason or all the time, bad stuff happening to you, or people being pricks to you, or meeting jerks everywhere. This kind of Murphy's Law, that rainy cloud following you kind of thing. That's because you have narcissistic friends that are locking your mind into this destructive pattern with mental commands, telepathic mental commands. Yes, telepathy exists. The people that hear that, they would call schizophrenics. They call me schizophrenic because I did the three-form psychosis, which were awakenings. It's like if you step back and are conscious of what your subconscious and unconscious minds do for you that you don't normally notice. You start noticing you control people from a distance. When you touch love, they move. You can turn their head. You can program what they're going to do the next time that situation takes place. You can change what will happen by turning people's heads, by connecting with them. And you have an antenna. There's an antenna. There's a unicorn with love, ding ding. That when you touch the ceiling, that's this guy, the guy with the water at the top of the buzzer, or one of these, the left wing or the right wing. They're usually on each side of the antenna. So you gotta focus inside of you and feel like this. Though your brain is a big Play-Doh thing that you can stick spikes into it, and you'll feel claws clawing into your brain, and it's this hardened energy. And if you mentally make this sort of claw and you poke it into your brain, you focus your energy in areas of your brain, you're gonna start digging into these twirly, slimy, net 9-inch snails. Real kind of snail feeling, gooey, inside of a net that's all twisted up. And inside of those, between two nets, there's these crunchy things that snap when you touch them with your imaginary claw. And those snaps are bad commands that you give to people, that telling them how to behave with yourself. And narcissistic, evil, fascist occupants will put bad commands and stuff that are going to be a pain in the ass for you, and they're going to give you trouble and change the whole dynamic and what people do to you and the way they react with you. They're going to possess the people you meet. I was a best, the one most likely to succeed. Being a best, well, in the metal scene, all the girls are looking for the best because he's the best. But usually he sounds stupid, insecure. He's a drug addict. He has some sort of really big thing that bugs people and doesn't make him attractive. And he doesn't, most likely won't have a woman because there's this curse that narcissistic roses. It's because on the energy tape, there's a roll with that twirls and it's in a bundle. That's the rose. It twirls to the center like a rose. That's why the Godfather has a rose, because those roses are fuck ups and a scenario that will repeat itself. And you tagging with your eyes, there's love in your eyes, and when you look and focus on something, you tag it with that love. So your brain feels it from a distance and brings you to what you love. But what narcissists do, they condition you to love bad stuff because they try to kill you. Fascist game is to kill the good guy. So they kill you by giving you bad habits and a downward spiral to play in. Once you invite them at your place, their eyes automatically kiss everything inside your apartment and put flies and balls everywhere for people to throw you. that are fuck ups you keep on having to, to rub off with music, and that feeling the love will melt it down. That's why fascists don't want you to touch love. They pretend you're molesting a guy. They send you on a guy, and then you get beat up when you touch love with fascists. But actually, it's not sex, it's love. And you can share that with guys because you're actually working on your problems. These are the problems. Everything under this line is a problem, a bad reflex, or a manipulated situation. And by loving and feeling that and sharing that with people, you share good habits. You're going to start paying attention to this new sound in music that you didn't used to notice. That's because you just loved this guy that actually liked that. And by correcting your bad habits together, well, the good habit you got from him is loving that type of guitar song kind of thing. You're going to start loving that in the future because you share love. And what we say on that love will become part of your interest, stuff you love, and part of your vocabulary. That's what we say, have a gun when you have the love. That's the gun. That's where the rats are. That's how you program rats and hypocrites and make them transform to be good by loving them. The blue lightsaber has love on it. The red lightsaber has a fire and temptation. Temptation. That's the right wing. The left wing has love. And it has also a tentative love too. And there's even a really sexual feeling, more horny kind of love button in the back. So you're going to find your sexual chakra. You're going to feel the energy in your mind and in your body. Feel the dough. Focus on the dough. And then tune in. Focus. And then whenever you have to change something, you just need to think about it. Just think about it. This thing's happening all the time, and you'll probably, by thinking of this problem situation, just thinking about it will probably make these harder spots appear in your mouth that twirl in these kind of hardened energy spirals that you can, and then if you start moving, you'll feel this resistance, and you'll be able to kind of twist through those McFlurry ice cream twirls that the energy does, and it becomes spaghetti, as if it would be all connected and spaghetti's out from here. And then when you cleaned it up pretty good, it feels like a fountain that drops back down with this cool energy stuff. And then you get the beer. I'm getting beer, a whole bunch of it. I'm giving you the whole way, the real way, the time way, all the way, all the energy. There's tons of energy flowing right now. If you just breathe it in, breathe in. When you hear way, breathe in. Breathe the energy in. When you hear way, it's your way. The way is up here. The wake up is up here. It's the grail. I have this all open. I have beer as much as I want. We call that beer because to get the fascists drinking while we're taking the energy. But people are cut off that energy because of the wall. It's blue guys sticking tight together and keeping you from passing and hardening it as energy or something. You can actually take imaginary drill bits of energy and drill through that pasta with music. You focus the music and you send it to a spot, and you make it, you say you're going to go through this. You make it go through it. You imagine it going through and drilling through that stuff that's here, everywhere. And you'll end up, if you drill on the heart, you're going to turn into this cool stuff, and you're going to fall on the heart chakra. That's kind of a mushroom with a, it's a mushroom with a center that you can twirl in with a membrane. And then there's the throat chakra. Throat chakra will do the same thing. And the love, when you feel the love, if you rub the love, it gives beer, it gives energy. But this video is not about that, but it's about feel the energy inside you. Focus on your energy. I'm connecting to you while saying that to command you. Now I'll talk to you about mental commands and how to change what happens to you and how people behave with you the day before it happens. You can program your destiny. You program your destiny with what you say. The only problem is that the TV programs program you with remote control order and principles and values that make you consume in the capitalist system of economical growth and eternal destruction of the earth. They're making consumers out of you. That's why they cut the energy off. Nazis and fascists did that. When you don't have the energy, you go dependent. You go needy. You shut the chakras, shut the energy. You're needy. You're looking for something to drink, something to smoke. You just put the smoke in your mouth. Uh, don't you don't need that. It's just because you have to say to yourself, I'll open my chakras and my energy vaults or something. Call it however you want. You just have to think and know what you're talking about, and your subconscious is gonna do that for you. You won't even have to try to do it. You say, open my heart chakra, and it's gonna open it up for you, and then give me prana, give me energy from my chakras. And you should feel this air conditioning flowing through these holes up in the chakras, up to here, and even the crown. You can get a crown chakra that when you wiggle your head, it might be cool if I got you. Your crown chakra will open, and you'll feel this cold energy. You might have wires in it that twist. I have this this net stuff, and whenever there's a rat, it's a tentacle that twirls and is in this net stuff, and they go hiding back down in my back because I blast music on them to program the rats and to make them become good. And you have to blast the love you feel inside your head. If you move your head, you probably will feel some love spiral or pulley systems. There's pulleys of energy, and then it all gets all soft. And the spaghetti, well, that's what the spaghetti church is talking about. It's this spaghetti stuff. When you feel the energy, it's like spaghetti sometimes when you dug through it. And every spaghetti is a person that live inside you. If you're a good night, you have dwellers living in your YouTubes, and yous are evil. Yous are narcissists. You were, at least. If I'd say are, I'm making them that way by saying it. So I have to speak of whatever I don't want, like a reality to happen to myself. I have to talk about that reality as it being the past, in the past tense, so I don't recreate that reality in my reality in the future. I shall not repeat the past. I will only grow into the future. And I will take control of the present moment. Most people do not control the present moment and are always obeying other people's commands and its commands that are all evil, destructive, and dependent making, widow making, and good night destroying, and good destroying, and all that. Narcissists, when they can connect to you and command you mentally. They can connect to you mentally and command you to do something. And if you don't hear that voice, your subconscious automatically obeys. You automatically start doing what they told you to do, and you don't even notice it comes from somebody else. They're commanding you. Now you might have this twirl of energy keeping your head from going forward and connecting the jaw to the button, and then the antenna, it doesn't go forward. Whenever I'm with a good person, I can't kiss forward because it's going backwards, that tentacle thing, and it's all crunchy and pull it up. I have to rub it for a half hour like this, real slow, putting music on it and loving it until it dissipates. And I have to untwirl all those twirls. They're all roses and balls crawling up to the cellar. And then they're all running to get to the top because they think that's the top of the pyramid. But the pyramid's down there. And we're on top of the upside one with the power on top. So it's just a question of time for all those bad things happening to you to disappear because we're pissing on them from on top and we're loving it. So we're getting rid of all those curses and bad roses and bad luck happening to people in bad dynamics. They manage to transform what people do by putting commands here and there in their routine. And they just have to say, to do that, when you have the power, you just have to say, when I meet a woman, I go in her head and look at what interests her and naturally speak about that when I speak to her. And that's what's going to happen. When you're going to meet a girl, you're going to connect to her, go to her interests, see what she's interested in, and naturally think of talking about that. You won't know where it came from, why you thought about that. You won't even remember you commanded yourself to do that the day before, but it's gonna happen if you're connected. You might have this TV helmet that keeps you sleeping and puts your real lies out, and then you don't realize the real lies. Everything you've been taught is a lie. We're living in an illusion in a mattress. You can even see the transform and the change of the mattress, how it cuts us as if we cut the video. Everything disappears and just changes. The future changes all the time if you're being positive and acting in the present moment, creating the future. We create the future. We create reality. They even found a cosmic metal, those stuff that they called cosmic pasta, after the spaghetti pasta church named their spaghetti stuff. They had noticed they had made it on top of the mountain in the pyramid. They had found the fountain of energy, the free energy, like steampunks did, like a lot, like all the Vikings and the metalheads did. The both arms are like this now. We command. We're in command. We're in charge. Marginal metalheads and punks are in charge. People with true ecological and social values are in charge and have the button. They can print your mind out to become good because nothing gets created, nothing gets lost, everything transforms. So love transforms it into good. And we wash ourselves. When you're with somebody, when you feel that energy inside of your mind, you have to crunch and dig everywhere and think about it's not just what's in your head. It's what's in your head changes depending on what you're thinking about and where you're at and who's around you. People, if you're a host, you're going to tend to drag and kiss, bring to your sexual chakra, kiss that everybody. If you're influential, you'll be kissing everybody around you without even noticing, because that's how we do it. When you're better, you kiss them to make them better and good. So what you do is you crunch all those I call those breakers, but they're energy blocks that either block the right way to behave and with the good habits. It blocks those off with hardened claw things that give beer when you crunch them out and dig into them. And then they start twirling, going all over, and you have to crunch this little thin mandolin string thing that and it gets all loose, and there's these bubble things. But you got to crunch those out. Those are bad commands you send in this, that situation when you're with a woman, when you're with a good person, when you're with a bad person, when you're with a good friend, when you're with an evil friend. Most of your friends, if you're good, are evil and are trying to kill you and are working in this collaborative rat race and fascist game where everybody kill each other. And they touch love to make you smoke. Because when you touch love, you actually kill. This kills. When I feel love, they die. And when a good person feels love, evil dies. Or starts loving what's been said on the love. And the only problem is a smoker will get what he wants. When you press love, the person turns normal and looks at what she wants or has to do or starts doing what she wants to do, not the commands. When you touch love, they fall into operation. And most people are betas. They'll pop into place and fall on your program. They fall on my program when I touch the ceiling. When I touch that, they all go boom. They all illuminate. They all look clear-minded all of a sudden and operative, and they start working in my dynamic, and things start running my way. So that's when you poke the ceiling. When you touch the ceiling, you're alpha. I dig upwards. I don't look for love on left and right. I go up all the time. You have to focus and pin up. You gotta pin up the antenna on the ceiling, and when you touch that, everybody will garde à vous. They'll go, oh, yes, sir. And then you see them move, and then you start talking, and you flip flop their head left and right. But if you have bad commands, they'll put you in a disadvantaged position. Or if you're a drug speed addict, well, everybody will give a sniff to you, even if they don't have anything in their nose, because you're commanding them to do it. So everybody's sniffing in your face all the time, and you're reminding you of doing speed, or they're always talking about lines. I'm a tattoo artist, so everybody has to mention a line. And then the lines in snow starts pouring, and you're actually commanding them to speak about those things that keep you dependent in a destructive mode, and that remind you all the time to destroy yourself and to sabotage yourself. You're telepathically giving them those commands. So you stop giving bad commands to people that you meet. Do not command them to do something that will disadvantage you. So what you say the day before, you crunch all those out, and you stretch the wires, and sometimes you got to put tension into 4, 5, 6, 7 extremities, and you kind of have to let your head kind of all lean onto every single one of them, and then you crunch them out, and you yank that wire out of those tentacle things. That's how you crunch those bad messages and the bad things that happen to you. It's those crunchers. That's why they called it crack, because it made stuff crack in your head, being dependent. And then there's always love. I'll put love on both your cheeks, so you get something to lean on. You can lean on the pole. The pole gives teeth. It makes you dominant, leaning on the love. That's why fascists don't want you to lean on love, because you become non-dependent and dominant, or leader, or chief. When you're on the love, you have the teeth. Teeth are a good friend, or protection, and are to eat. So teeth are true friends. They will not screw you over. Most good friends, good people have nowadays, because of the fascist game, are trying to kill them. They don't notice that smoke they offer them once in a while, or that smoking envy. Smoking envy, you feel like smoking right now, don't you? I just threw you a smoking envy. I can post those by being inside your head, in your routine tunnel. I just have to think about that, and I can put some in every door. And then every time you'll be walking at your place, whenever you'll cross the door, you'll always think of having a smoke. You can do that telepathically. So what you got to do is to get rid of all those commands. Or when something weird's happening to you, pay attention. Listen. And look at the loose you have. You're probably loose in one of those canals that you travel through in your mind. And you're loose, and the loose is letting somebody speak to you. You forgot to cork it left. Sometimes there's these impossible positions you have to take to untwirl that tape stuff that with the wire keeping it crooked. The wire actually turns head when they hit that spot, because it's kind of a tape they read that makes them behave a certain way. 85% of people are behaving on this commands thing that came from TV divas and priests, and the priests are on stage since the 80s. The 80s music was toxic and was making me, putting me on the cross and putting me on a hook. And the big game of the fascists was to hook the good night with the hooker on something that hooks like powder and ruin him, take him the money, the house, and everything, and then to make a whore out of his woman and his daughters. So and raising them blue, evil, right arm treachery and all that, and hypocrisy and Cain style fucking. They're running like Cain. They're gonna fucking kill one each and other once they get to the end. Their brother's gonna kill them. They're way out of track, but they're playing this game, and they're commanding you live while things are happening. There, whenever you go kind of messed up, you're being hacked, and usually it's when you move or do something. It's when you don't notice they'll hack, and or they program themselves, and it's all automatic. When this happens, that command goes, and that. They don't even do it anymore. It's just that they have the reflex to hook to you whenever you're moving and putting the command in, and then you'll start behaving like they want you to do. But sometimes they'll just say work for me in your head. So everything you do unconsciously, they do that to the leader. They make the leader work for themselves to get all the women and all that. Because the leader, the scapegoat, John and Jesus, are boss. Because everybody is inside them and focused on them because they're it. It is boss. If it's good. Crunch, spaghetti twirl. So they'll use the leader and command him to behave in their advantage. And then everybody's going to keep in that person dependent, drinking, smoking, needing, silent. That's when they wear their shirts with no sleeves. In French, it's camisole. It's because the K is the AK-47, is a resistance letter weapon. The K is a defense. T is a defense. When you give the T, and K, and when you a K, K, camisole. K isolates you. The K isolates you. They keep you quiet because you have a command power. That's why they keep you quiet, because they're afraid of what you're going to say to them, because they obey the brave. And we are brave. We confronted and kept going with no fear and won. So we're on top now. So now I'm trying to teach you. You have to get your tentacle out and into that. You got to enter, send something into their head, and twirl their spaghetti. It's gonna be like these spaghettis all getting untangled. You gotta twirl that stuff out and crunch all of his crunchers, because he and them, you can pick 5 people at a time and all, or love their crunchers down. You just love and they'll disappear. You always have to feel the love. When you're feeling the love, they can't screw on you. They can't command you, and you're not open because you're loving. When you hold this, you're shut, and they can't command. And the commands are being the ones in place are being melted down evenly, but they disappear really slowly, slower than when you grind them and crunch them with grindcore and metal. Metal just grabs you and plays around with your head and stuff. Metal's really magical and good for the spirit, and grindcore too is a good raincoat, good order putting thing, and with good values, and it protects you from evil, gives them evil, disgusting gore vomit shit in their bag that they just hate, and just vomit all over them. Vomit's good; it protects you. Vomit, you can vomit all you want with an ignorant prick. You have to vomit, or be a Johnny. John has a nose that kills. And those pricks. That's why they keep John quiet. So when something's happening that you don't like, or you're being kept out, or something's happening that's putting you aside, or you're having to endure or something, just say to yourself, focus on what's disturbing you and connect. So you'll connect on the element that's bugging you, you'll connect to it, and then when you connect, you can command it. So you connect and think in your mind, and command the right thing for them to do, and they will start obeying and acting like how you told them. They'll start behaving and doing exactly what you said without even arguing. You can verbally command them, but when that happens, their ego intervenes, and they don't want to be caught obeying in front of everybody. Sometimes is stronger, and they don't actually do what you want. But you got to be careful, because if you say it's all a bunch of fucking fascists here, well, you just turn them all into fascists, and they're under a fascist dynamic program that will exclude you and keep you shut up. So do not create fascists. Put hate on that word, so people around you don't become that and don't love that. What you put hate on will disappear from their vocabulary and their envies and needs. They won't want that, and they won't think of that, and it'll totally disappear when there's hate implicated. When there's love, it's the opposite. They'll love and start doing that, or eating that, or taking that, and slowly. Or you can put your picture in love, so they're gonna feel love when they see your picture in their mind. So they're gonna start being kind and really happy to see you. And then the day before, you say, whoever whoever I will meet tomorrow will be kind with me, respectful, funny, or however you want them to be. Just say how they'll be when they're around you, and that's how they're gonna be. But connect when you say that, and connect to say it to your inner self and to your subconscious mind. Connect to your subconscious mind when you say that in your inner self, and command yourself either mentally or verbally. Verbally is more effective. That's why you do it the day before when you're alone at home. You program yourself, you program your future. And then all you have to do the next day, they're all behaving the way you want them to behave. If you're always ending up being the dad, so they'll all be behaving like you said they would. Girls will be attracted to you and looking at you if that's what you wished for. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna look at you. They're gonna be attracted. They're gonna talk to you. People are gonna be nice. You say tomorrow I'll attract only good people and push away bad people that won't notice me. Well, that's what's gonna happen. And then you see, from a distance, I'm gonna motivate the people that are best for me to cross my path, and you are going to cross those people's path in the next day, the next week, or eventually. That reality will become that affirmation will become a reality if it's non-ego related. So you can change who you meet, what you meet. You can affect time a little bit. Well, you can go back in time and forward in time all you want just by thinking back and forth. If you see this girl pass in front of you and that doesn't notice you, but that it's probably because you're not meant to go together, or that narcissist got that girl that's supposed to be with you not to want you and not to notice you, and you the same thing. They keep you separated, and they put your best friend on her in connection, and he always runs away with the girl, type of thing. That happens to me all the time. The only person that's kind to me is the one that takes the girl away from me. Well, I shouldn't have said that way. Well, that went to a rat. So see, I just went back in the past, corrected it. So I played with the past on the tape. You just go back on the tape that's in your back, that you feel. You can change the past and the future and the present just by playing on areas in the tape and by wishing or commanding what's going to happen in the future, and it's going to happen. You can affect time that way. You can time travel with your spirit. I never managed to take my body in time, but you can say time is going faster right now, and people will all accelerate, and time will start flowing faster. So that girl that passes in front of you that doesn't notice you, what you do is you think back to when she was just before she passed in front of you, and then you think about her, you think about being in her head, then you turn your head the right way she should have turned it, and then you let go, you go back to your position, and then come and program yourself to call her. So the next time she crosses by, she's gonna have the command to look at you and look, to notice you because you turned her head on the tape. You made her be attracted to you. So in the future, that type of person will always notice and look at you, and you will cross sights if you did it properly. You will look in the eye and really notice each other. And then you can even go to saying the all the girls that I meet, I will attract nice girls, blah blah blah, and or guys if you're a woman. See, he just went crazy. I don't know why he stopped like that. I probably mentally touched his buzzer. My friend told me that the dirty clothes thing flew off its stand twice in the night with nobody next to it in the washroom. The thing moved on its own. They managed to move stuff in at a distance with that magic tape they put all over your apartment. I don't know why they did that. I tried to move an eraser. It didn't move. It budged in the illusion it would move or hover, but it would always come back to its position before I tried. So I was trying to affect its density, its weight. But we have a lot bigger. Oh, I'm getting a cruncher. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Something just crunched. That actually turns head when I do this. I look crazy when I do that. But it's all crunchy, it plays on your love when it crunches, so you can't stop wiggling your head all the time and doing the twist. The music, you gotta to clean those breakers out. You go numb and just as you're holding your head, that's it. The minimum muscle contraction you can do, just mellow, just enough to hold up straight. That's it. That's all. Find a balance and contract muscle the less as possible. Put marginal, metal, grindcore, punk, folk punk. Put good music with good, but now it's turning all good because of the revolution, because this came on top, and Baldur's running the game. I think. I hate that one. I forget. That's probably a command that's telling me to forget. You can tell the command them to forget what they're doing, and then you crunch them out, you crunch yours out that are commanding him, and crunch him out so he won't do what he was doing that pissed you off anymore because you commanded him to stop. Or me, they always close the circle on me. They talk once or twice to me, and then it tells them to close the circle, and they fucking just shove themselves right in front of me. Like really, it really. You go like, did that really happen? That person actually did that to me, and they'll do it 5 times in the evening. Every time I go out for a smoke, I get excluded of a circle. Any circle, I always get excluded. I managed to change that dynamic by saying people are going to be wanting and are going to be attracted to talking to me because something was telling them don't talk to me. A command was out of my mind and telling them not to talk to me. They'll always avoid me and leave me alone. And I'd always be standing there on my own, and then they'd be touching the buzzer, making this right all the time, and it looked like they'd think that was funny that they make me smoke, that they're doing it on purpose, and that they're happy doing that. That's the expressions they gave them by commanding them when they used to be able to command. Now they can't do these fuck ups as simply. They have to mentally do everything manually, and then put it in person in that person by occupying. They can't just say it anymore. They used to say the word and terrible stuff would happen. Some guy just said fentanyl to me, and I started hallucinating and getting this heart thing and feeling really weird because he said fentanyl. It was a dealer guy. They have power words that affect you immediately, but they're all getting melted down. They have less and less of those words. Power words. Power. Now you've got the power. You shall develop the ears. Your ears will open as you walk, and you'll start hearing the voice and the commands. So therefore, you'll be able to do the opposite the commands you. Whenever you hear a command or an order, even if it looks nice, you have to take it out. There are never good. Good does not command you with voices in your head. Good just happens because of love and tension between people and dynamics. Love and this collective consciousness we have that some people call God. I call it collective consciousness or common sense. It's a common sense that places and shows us elements and objects and signals. So all you have to do is verbalize what you want to happen with what person and what that kind of person are going to do. You just say rats won't notice me and I'll push them away and I'll never drag them out to come and see me when I do this. I'll stop doing this. I'll start doing this. When this happens, this is what I'm going to do. So I say when they command me, I'll immediately disconnect myself. When they order me, erase what they put like a command and counter command them to stop doing that and kick them out and keep them from finding a trail back. But all that you'll do in a fraction of a second when whatever you wanted not to happen happens. So command your way out of every bad situation you live by saying focus and connect to that person pissing you off and command it to do the right thing. Whatever the right thing is, the best thing it is. And that's what's going to happen. It's going to figure out, your brain's going to figure out the best thing you know that person could do to advantage you. You got to be careful. I usually say not to get caught by ego and my wishes that I wanted to benefit the collectivity of the community and myself, because I'm the mastermind behind my house. Mouth hole is house, teeth is friend house. These are help, team, defense, attack, help, chest the money. People that are bragging about being best, the stomach, the cheeks the plate. These, when they pretend nothing's happening to them, but somebody's talking in their conscience, they're kind of making deaf sourcil. This is the eyebrows. The French sourcil is the deaf saws. Because when you saw, you see somebody's grinding dough down to get rid of something. When it's ici. Ici is here, but it means this. He saws. Something about sawing in French, in the bird language. When he sees he's messed up or something and he's getting corrected. So you will command and correct whoever commands you and disconnect and counter command and intercept kind of thing. And then reorientate towards another rat or something. Get the rats ratting out each other, keeping each other busy by being pricks and disturbing each other. Or say they're going to talk on his antenna. So they're going to talk right on the button whenever he moves. That's disturbing. It gets you crazy. Every time you try to move, there's somebody following you with his voice and on the button that you listen to. That's how you get rid of unwanted people. Just speak on the buzzer. Then you can say, well, I won't attract people with bleedy stuff showing. I won't attract people with broken stuff showing. I won't attract violent redheads. I'll only attract motivated, good, this type of people, the marginals and people with true and good values. I will meet people that will make me evolve and that are creative. I'll attract them before I even go out to make sure they're there when I get there. I'm going to be yanking on the right people for me and pushing away the wrong people for me. And then you can see evil people are going to go deaf and blind. But that you have to have the crown on to affect everybody and fuck all. You have to just say it on the fuck, but deaf will block their ears, and then they're gonna stop hearing. I think. I don't know if that were that powerful, but I think some of them stop. As I said, they stop hearing each other when they're doing something wrong or swindling somebody or screwing somebody over. They can't communicate because they would communicate each other what to do to it, and they would choose the best to be it, and then they'd screw them by all communicating in their mind with it not hearing anything. Good doesn't have ears. Well, I commanded ears to be put on good people. I don't know if they all came in. And I commanded the eyes to be operational, the real eyes for all good people, and to close the real eyes for the evil people. So they stopped seeing the net and stopped making these booby traps in people's homes and kissing stuff. And then I said evil will stop kissing their kiss into people. They'll stop throwing balls at people. I saw this chick just go, but she would move her hands so we wouldn't see those balls flying out. That fuck ups, and she was doing it to punks. Punks have this broken because they've been balled like crazy and kept dependent, and they've been sold a hero's in. That when he rows, he does heroin on a horse. That's called heroin. In a Hotel California where you never get out. In this zoo maze thing that zoo maze thing, well, you turn the heads the right way. So that's a good person, and I was looking that way, and he was talking that way. I said, no, he should be talking my way, and I should be looking at him. So you change that while it's happening. So you'll start looking at each other when speaking to one another. And if there's someone evil, you will go, I should call the evil person into my house to control him. All we have to do is call. Usually they'll attract your attention, the good night's attention. So he ends up at their place, and it's their dynamic that happens. Then the big redhead with the cane walks around. The cam guy that has this cane problem, always showing it to everybody, trying to scare you. That's when the other rooster takes control. So you got to get rid of those commands. So automatically erase all of your commands, automatic triggers while you sleep and walk, and with the heartbeat and breath. Automatically untwirl leeches and snails and worm things and wires. Straighten out the wire. Melt down the hardened energy. The energy will dry out and harden in this crooked position with a blade side that won't go forward unless it crunches, and you kind of got to put music on it and to slowly kind of keep tension by orientating it here and there, and by the music will actually crunch it exactly the right way it has to crunch to snap that tendon that's keeping it in that dynamic. That crooked energy thing is what turns people's heads the wrong way. When they hit the curve, they turn and follow it. They go, fuck. Or when you touch the love, you'll start flapping their head around and telling them left, right, to move them the right way. So they call the right persons at the right time to get the best dynamic going. So that's when you got to automatically turn heads the right way in order to be protected and influential and good. So when you're daydreaming, you're going to be turning people's head in the collective dynamic and erasing their commands they give to people when they meet people. And then you just have to program how the opposite sex acts with you. And then I noticed couples not being together with love and the woman always being with other men. That was a fascist sabotaging the family, making a whore out of the woman that had a salon with kids and no money, and a working guy that always works that lost everything twice because of his divorces, that has to work like crazy to pay all his bills that the woman is taking for the kids. So it was this fascist trap, this thing to split couples and families, especially good ones. So when you're in a couple, you will say, well, I'll share love with my loved one from now on. And if other people feel it with us, we'll all feel it. And it won't be to start to marry someone. We'll all be aware and be told or commanded that it's only to fix our problems and bad dynamics that we feel that love. It's this bad dynamic between the people present, the love you feel. So you rub and love it out until you don't feel it, and everybody stays tight that way. Nobody goes loose, being a robot like and fall into this program. When you're touching love, it doesn't show. Whoever's concerned will start talking like crazy to stay tight and not have these loose spots in his, wherever we erase the tape, it gets loose and doesn't know what to do and has no more love to lean on. They're actually free when that happens and only have to go up and breathe in that prana, that energy, breathe it in and the whole way and all the way and all that. Not the bad way. Give the bad way to evil creeps. Give them the bad way when they're in your mind. That's a stinky smoke feeling, kind of disease-giving way, the evil way. Sometimes they kiss you into breathing that and try to give you cancer. But so what you got to do is pay attention to those commands, because they'll command you to go left and right, to listen or not to listen to the music, to go up or down, to avoid or touch the love, or to contract or not contract muscles. They're going to be kind of guiding you in this maze of YouTubes and I feel the love in this one. So there's a problem wrapped with hiding in there. And the love is like a connector. It's like a phone. When it connects to all the rats, the love down there. I feel it. But you guys are so wrapped up in this net stuff that your sexual chakra isn't, we can't find it. I have to go, where's your bizun in your head? And look, there, I touched it. It's right there. That's the second. So that's the phone. So that's where you say bad shit to bad people with your gun. So be positive, and all you have to do is program what's going to happen the next day, and it's going to happen. Things you can do is attract or push back people, get love or hate to some people, give fire to some people. You can turn their home into fire. Fire is stressful a bit, but I like fire. Fire, I've been surrounded with that for so long. They were trying to kill me, to keep me in powder and stuff, that I actually got to like the electric feeling of fire and earth. Earth is a bit different, but it's, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put air, water, earth, fire around you. So the air, water is cool, where you lean on, and you're going to be feeling love with your friends on the cheeks, and your family and all that, or the opposite sex. With the opposite sex, you feel it down there, down on your sexual chakra, because you want to play with that with the opposite sex, don't you? Oh, there's a bad dynamic.
I'm having trouble understanding.
Even Alexa's
Please try
telling me. I got all these wires. I strip people from their bad rats and wrap them around me and eat them up and melt them down. I'm a rat eater. I'm a ball grinder. I grind. I'm always tending. I'm always drifting. Gin. See the atmosphere? I'm getting a gin. Genie. I'm always drifting or resisting, or music holds me and drags me, and I'm always contracting something. I'm kind of getting loose. I got loose a bit. I got loosened up from speaking, and because you can speak to get rid of that dose stuff, and it'll melt down. It'll taste like beer, whiskey, or rum inside you. When you're hitting the fort or an institution, it tastes like hard alcohol, like a high level alcohol. We call it fall. It's like a fort. Fall. Fall is liquor. It tastes like metal, or whiskey and rum is when you're grinding down evil or state magic and dynamics that have been played around with that are not correct. That gives liquor. There's tea, there's water, there's wine, there's honey, sweetnesses. You can play around with taste a bit. Then you can use minerals and make yourself you say, I'll use all the best elements for me that make me vibrate on the proper frequency and do the right stuff for me. Because I'm gonna wake up with serotonin and dopamine in my mind, flowing in my body, and I'm gonna feel comfortable all day. I'm gonna be surrounded by harmony, peace, and anarchy wherever I go. I'm going to be meeting people from the resistance. I'm going to be meeting people that love sports. I'm going to be meeting my soulmate. Uh, I'm going to find my soulmate amongst multiple persons of the same sex. I'm going to look at her. She's going to look at me. We're going to be attracted to one another. That's stuff you can change because you affect what people do and command them unconsciously, but people don't hear those commands. You have to dig through the telepathic place in your mind, in the back here. There's this whole thing you got to open up where you get telepathy and you hear stuff and you hear the voice. That's why they have the voice show, because it's the high right wing having ears and earrings. That's what the earrings meant. They gave it to women first, showing them how to screw on their husband by connecting them with love on the motherfucker. So the motherfucker would fuck off with your girl because she would hear him and she had a magical power with him, telepathic power, and he was doing stuff to her and commanding her and loving him. So she'd fall in love and be sexually aroused to him because he was able to play with the sexual chakra. He could get whatever woman he wanted. He just commanded it. When you have the love, you get what you want. And you can get the universe to work according to what you want. And it will obey. It will bring you what you want, what you desire, and what you commanded. It will do. It will do for you. So be positive, affirmative, and just decide what's gonna happen. You can, if there's strong enough force, and if you're in the right position, you can affect the weather. If you're strong enough and influential enough, they do it with heart. What else can you change? You can change stuff in the past, making it mellower in the present. You can make people go back 2 minutes and they'll repeat what they said. Or they're going to lose what they were saying because you got them to go back 2 minutes. So they rewind their tape and start where they were at 2 minutes ago. They don't actually, well, I don't know if time actually takes us 2 minutes ago when we disappear and reappear, or if it's just this psychic travel that happens and you just go back on the tape. So your reality shifts, but not you. Everybody has their own reality because there's these commands. They have a specific destiny for every type of person. They've been working for 2,000 years on these fuck-ups, keeping the good away. Away, you forgot to take your weight. That was energy. Away. Away. Breathe upwards from the front. So we're going to open your way. You're going to open your way when you walk, and you're going to get away in energy. You're going to get gold. What else can I make you do? Create happiness and harmony everywhere you go, and peace, and share good values. When you have discussions, talk about concepts and ideas and develop on reality. Don't stick into the past. The past. I trying to say just with hate, but it's always yanks on love. I guess we could keep evil people in the past so they don't fuck up our reality in the future. So whenever they change something, they changed it in the past. No, they should change it in the future so we'll never get to their changes. So and then I went traveling with the Gagal Bordello's singer in the future. I think I dreamed of where we went, but I kind of disappeared. I kind of started daydreaming when we went to the future. But I can't talk about it because I didn't really feel it. But you can't affect time anyways. You can decide what to suck on, life or death. This is the whole new game. It's not just death up front like the Christian church with death on the front row, the dead cadaver on the cross. It's the elements now. It's the runes. It's Nordic. It's all gods. Those who want a Christian cage with 3 options at the end, you can stay in the bloody cage of a seigneur. Seigneur is a bleeder. That's how they call Jesus a seigneur, a leader. And a seigneur is a seigneurial, is a baron or something. Seigneur, he leads people too because he's a rich prick with power. But rich priests don't have power no more. Not speech. They only have power of money. But they're being dictated into doing good stuff to it and inspired. We don't dictate. We inspire you. So people are all going to transform in an inspiring way and inspire others to do good and to do their best and to get things better and to evolve and to change the future the way we want it to be. And anyways, we can all change our own reality. So the face when we focus on someone is the one we decided we'd get, or our karma gave us if we're evil, and we need to be confronted to ourselves to see how much of a pain in the ass we are. Hypocrites and traitors. What a good set of values, you fucking hypocrite. According to me, they're the only ones that deserve to die, but we still give them a chance to live and change. That's the only trouble in anarchy. If you're evil, you get a dictature. If you're good, you get total freedom. And anarchy is in your mind. And anarchy is everybody commands reality and get their own reality. What you hear around you is what you wished for and what you need to hear. If evil narcissists control of you, they're going to be laughing at you from a distance all the time. You can get people to laugh at a specific person every time he shows up within 20 feet. Or whoever's in 20 feet will start connecting to what an emotion he doesn't like and laugh while touching at it, so he feels concerned and disturbed. Or you can get them to speak on their antenna, on their attention center, so that'll drive them nuts. You can never, whenever you stop where you're supposed to be mellow and neutral, you get this zap of a voice hitting you every time you make it to your neutral spot. So you don't have a peace spot anymore. It's always a voice running after you. That's an evil trick you can do people. You can get people to do accidents. My friend just talked to me about a flying clothes basket that fell off this stand it was on twice in the same evening with nobody in the washroom close to it. It just fell and it banged. And there was nobody there when twice. You can move objects, I think. And then what they do is they get the people you meet, they get you to command them to try out your girlfriend. So they all give your girlfriend a try right in front of you all the time. And she's always resisting these horny guys trying to fuck her in front of you. That guy told me that happened to him. And he was loaded with tape that's all messed up and a real rose bush. And I crunched for an hour talking to him, fixing and there was something was repeating and giving it back to him in his apartment. And I was just crunching away and it would never go away. I managed to, something was retarding them. It was telling them to stutter, to be retarded, to be confused. You can get them confused, command them confusion. They'll go confused. Just say it. You confusion by connecting them. Confusion. You're confused right now. Think, listen, live, die. You press the love. That's how you kill. Kill is there. Kill. But nobody wants to kill. We want to love. So it's been an hour, 15 minutes. So command and design your universe. Epica. Really good metal band. Epica, they awakened me. And Gogol Bordello. Good music. And then listen to good grindcore, Chelsea Grin or something. Agoraphobic, Nosebleed. There's tons of... and get yourself a cat. It's an antidepressant. And trust cats because all cats are beautiful and they help you out a lot if they're not kissed and full of tape. You got to crunch your cat and your animals too. crunch, crunch, crunching my cat to get him to work properly, and he's gonna go down and get your rats and problems and temptation, and then he's gonna eat them out for you and drag him away from you every time he meets you. The cat is a really helpful animal. So surround yourself with positive things and evolutive things that work in harmony with nature and the universal energy. That's about it. Just command. If you're good, you can command. So I'm going to leave you with this song. Despised icon. If I let my head go, it sways on love and does this trajectory. That's how you do the twist. They end up twisting crazy and melting energy down. That's how you get rid of roses. With love and dancing the twist. And letting your body move to the music. The music has to move your body, not you consciously. Because when you spend energy, it sees you and casts on you something worse. With that, gets to restart all over again. There's restarts all over the place that trigger each other off in that maze. And voices that tell you to do the wrong thing. You got to pay really attention to those voices. And it's not schizoland. This is all true. Even Alexa hears voices. So bye-bye. This is the X generation with the hourglass, because time only exists in our dimension. Now go visit other dimensions. Remember, you're eternal. Don't trust the Catholic Church. It's a trap. It's a cage. It's a fascist regime. It's this gave me wires. It went crunch and something crawled in. Oh, what is that? There's a net thing crawling up. The music found something. I said, okay, so have a nice one. Have a good existence. And create good for yourself around you unconsciously. And attract good and harmony. That's all I can do for you. I think I programmed you pretty good. You're going to be doing pretty good stuff. You're going to be even punishing evil with my evil ball. So you get to throw them that when they're stable and do evil on purpose. You just give them a ball. Your boobs are going to be ball blowers. My ball blowers. So you just made yourself a free black shirt or scarf or hat or coat with a white lining. And try to be yellow or green as much as you can, and trust the red. So that's all I can say. Have a nice one. Bye-bye.